Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Paula, also known as the Snail Garden on social media, and I have an Etsy shop, Eva Faith, where I sell hand-dyed linen for cross-stitching. I will put links where you can find me in the description box below. This is my 4th Vlogtober video, and I thought I would pop in and we could go through the crafts that I have been doing this month. And I will start with a new to me craft, which is behind me. And this is wool applique. I bought several books recently on wool applique and started with one of the designs from here. This one is called Simple Autumn Stack, and it is a mixture of wool felt and felted wool. I love the little crow at the top. This is a silk ribbon that I naturally dyed a couple of years ago, which I thought was the perfect colour for this. And I have chosen 4 different buttons from my Nana's button tin. And I finished it with a piece of brushed cotton from a pair of my son's pyjamas that he grew out of. And this is a relatively quick make and something I'd like to do some more of. I then saw a crocheted pumpkin pattern that I liked the look of. This is Pumpkin Harvest, and I have made 4 of the large pumpkins out of here. They called for an Aran weight yarn, but I didn't have any Aran weight. But what I did have was some double knitting yarn, and so I've held my yarn double, and see how large they've turned out. And then I used a smaller hook and used a single thread of the yarn, strand of the yarn, for the stalks. This one has some sewn ribs, pulling it tight. And this one has decorative ribs. I love the shapes of these, they're very natural, I think. And this was the final one that I crocheted. I have crocheted pumpkins in the past, but I really like this pattern, so I thought I'd do some more. There was another new to me craft, and that's punch needle. And Laurie Brecklin of Not Forgotten Farm designed these little Native American corn, I believe she calls them. And she had designed them as a necklace, but I decided to do a couple of them just as a autumn decoration. And I've used an anchor perle yarn that was variegated. And the offcuts of the weaver's cloth I've just used for the husks. And I used a watercolour pencil to draw some lines on it to try and make it look more like a husk. I hope to do some more punch needle, perhaps for some Christmas decorations. The remainder of my projects is cross stitch. I won't share my progress on my Rebel cardigan because there hasn't been a lot of it. I'll share that when there's a little bit more to see. Now these are all lavender sachets, pillows. This was Common Thread by Hello from Liz Matthews, and it's stitched 2/2 on 32 count. They're not the called for colours apart from the black, but they're very similar because I was using some of my anchor threads. I was just stuffing these this morning, and there's a really strong smell of lavender around here at the moment, which is lovely. The next ones are I've forgotten what they are already. This one I think is the May mini bouquet. And this is a series of designs generously published for free by Jeanette Douglas, and you could do them individually or as a sampler. And I'm turning mine all into sachets with my own homegrown lavender. These are all 2/2 on 32 count. In fact, did I say this was 1/2? 2/2. And my usual method of finishing them is to hem the edge, but with this one I have cut across in the back, and this one, as you can see, is not quite finished because I've just whip stitched it closed, and I'm going to put some decoration over here to cover it. But as I said, I've only just stuffed these this morning. And these are all my own colour choices, mostly anchor threads. So that was May. The next one was June. And there goes May on the floor. I have changed this slightly. These were 4 little crosses, and I've changed them to eyelet stitches because they reminded me of the cornflowers in our garden. And I've chosen these colours to match the roses in our garden. And he just needs a little bit more decoration. July I have stitched, but I haven't fully finished. This one is August. I've totally changed the colours in August. And I put a little crown in here as a reminder of our Queen. And I've put a little bit of regal purple and some silver thread in there. And I fussy cut the back of some fabric to include Buckingham Palace and Westminster Abbey. I'd probably put a little bit more decoration on this somewhere. I have stitched the October one. I say it's September one as well as stitched but not fully finished. And this one I have chosen colours to match sunflowers. I haven't chosen the fabric for the back of this one yet. But I'm keeping up to date with the stitching, just not the finishing. I also recently finished stitching Love Notes by Brenda Gervais. And these are mostly the called for colours. And I have stuffed these all with lavender again this morning. And they all have this heart printed fabric on the back. I am going to be putting some rickrack and ribbon on these, but I've just got the rickrack in the post. So that was the first one. There is Love You a Latte. This very cute little cupid. Love Stamp. Again, they're all stuffed with lavender. And Hugs and Kisses. And this is my 40 count linen, I should have said, and it's 1/2 in my colourway Hazelnut, and all the little hearts. So I plan to fully finish those ones soon. Next was an unplanned start. And this is I Collect by Brenda Gervais. This is one of a couple of her patterns I particularly liked because I wanted to put some of my Nana's buttons on. And this is on the 40 count linen 1/2. A mixture of called for and DMC colours. And I stitched all the buttons on, but rather than put collector across the bottom, I've chosen to put a piece of ribbon that's like a measuring tape. So that has yet to be backed. I have some nice fabric for this as well. It is all little tomato pin cushions on the back. My final item is Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee, again by Brenda Gervais. And I'm stitching this as an informal stitch along with my friend Nicola of Bumble Stitches. Last year I stitched Broomhilda, so I had a little bit of a head start. And this year I have stitched Witch's Brew, I believe it's called. And this is on 36 count, and it's my colourway Grunge, and it's stitched 1/2. a mixture of the called for colours and stash colours. See, I've chosen Weeks Dye Works Coal because I liked it slightly blacker than the brown, which was Hickory Sticks, I believe. And I've just started Ghosts and Goblins. It's not quite Halloween yet, so hopefully I'll get a little bit more done on that one. thank you for joining me for my Vlogtober. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to speak to you again at the end of November. Bye!